Hi guys, it's Scott back, here to give a review, like the title suggests, on the film Death Proof. This is not a review of the film Grindhouse, which had originally this film Death Proof by Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez's Planet Terror in one film. This isn't a review of that. That's a whole nother review if I ever get to it. What this is a review of Grindhouse Presents Death Proof, the extended and unrated edition. This is really hard for me to review because those of you who know me, even those of you who don't, who have seen some of my other videos, I was a huge fan of Grindhouse. I thought it was a great way to incorporate some really old films, and it should have brought a lot more people back into the theater to witness this. It was two films for the price of one. I mean, one ticket, you get 4.5 hours of film, which, you know, two complete films that were just supposed to be crazy and unexpected, exploitacious, like the old 70s Grindhouse films. The film itself is really grindy, just like the film kind of suggests, the title, and it has like missing scenes, missing sound cues, stuff like that through the entire thing. If you went and saw it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This part here was the second film to be released in the series when you went to see them, Death Proof by Tarantino. Really, really well written. It's hard for me to review this because it's a lot different than the film in theaters. In theaters, it was about an hour and a half, and in this version, it covers just under 2 hours. Reason for that being, they put that extra little 25, 28 minutes of stuff we don't really need in the film. Again, I'm a big fan of Tarantino, so I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna buy it. I enjoy it. I enjoy the way he writes, but we really didn't need that. But, you know, if you're selling them separately because the film bombed in theaters, Grindhouse, sadly, it's true, and they released them separately, they needed more for their money. And I agree and disagree at the same time with this. What they gave us on here were really just little extra scenes that didn't add anything to it. Again, they wouldn't take anything away, but it kind of drags at time, which I hate to say that because Tarantino's films are strongly surrounded and based off of dialogue, building the story from the character's point of views. So it's hard to say that for me, but kind of does. What it's about is a man named Stuntman Mike, that's really all you hear from him, who's a stuntman, as he proclaims in the film, ends up just killing these girls. It's the only way he can, as they kind of say, get off in the film. It gives him pleasure just to see the pain and suffering of these girls. So he goes through, he sees them, he catches up with them, he runs his car into theirs at the beginning and kills them. They build up this whole long story, who the girls are, what they've done, everything about them. Not really needed, but again, brings into the story. This isn't the part I'm complaining about. Lets you know these people are supposed to be real and all. You get the really grindy look to the film, missing sound cues, all of that. Ends up killing them. That's it. The best thing about the film, I think, is the music. It was all hand-selected by Tarantino for the film. I think it's great. The jukebox they use in the film is actually Quentin Tarantino's, which has a full sound list on it, which you never really get to see unless, like, you talk to someone who worked on it. You can probably find it online somewhere. It's got music that he's chosen. A lot of it's from his other films. You know, you got, like, Reservoir Dogs and all. But again, that's off the point. He goes through into this bar and all. He sees these girls and all. He ends up killing them. You get that. This is where it gets hard to review because in the next scene, he's laying in a hospital really banged up. He survived, but all the other girls died. He kind of just, he got off to it. He survived. He loves it. You still get the real grindy look in the film and all. The hospital they use in the second part, which a lot of you probably noticed, is the same one in Planet Terror, and it has the same actors and actresses in it, kind of bringing them together. Obviously, this is a prequel to Planet Terror, because in Planet Terror, everyone turns into zombies, and the whole world pretty much goes to hell. In this one, they're all fine, which just lets you know that every film, you know, leading up past Death Proof is just a prequel, everything before it. This is where it throws people because they don't understand why it's so long. If you watched it in theaters, you get it because it's just building up dialogue from the other film. Also, it's got the same sheriff and son from Kill Bill and from Dusk Till Dawn too. How they always kind of keep that together from Rodriguez and Tarantino. This is where it gets hard. It's debated that the film the film Death Proof actually ends there and a new film begins. Now, I noticed this about the second time I went and saw it in theaters. The second part of the film, after Stuntman Mike ends up killing the girls and is in hospital, it fades to black. In the DVD release, it says like, I don't know, like 14 months later or something, at least a year. It brings up, and the rest of the film has no grind in it whatsoever. Pretty much it's Stuntman Mike doing the same thing he did in the first half, but you never have him referred to as Stuntman Mike. No one ever says his name. A lot of people believe that this second part of the film is supposed to be Kurt Russell imitating the character he played in the film Death Proof. That it's supposed to be real, if you will. They never mention any names. It's the new group of girls are actually working on a film, which is supposed to be starring Lindsay Lohan and just people like that. Real people. Zoe Bell plays herself in the second half, so it kind of adds up that Kurt Russell is chasing these girls and trying to kill them. You really don't get a build up into the characters of them, it just happens. Kurt Russell ends up chasing them through this part, goes through, has one of the greatest car chases I've seen since like Vanishing Point and Bullet, you know, all of these films. Steve McQueen, who, another great actor, but that's another story. Great car chases in those. This matches them. I don't think it surpasses them, but it definitely is as good as those. Crazy stunts and all through this whole thing. The girls end up catching up to Stuntman Mike, and they kill him. They kill him, and it ends, but it does it in a really cheesy way that you don't feel cheated out of your money at all. It's that cool. They basically step on his head, they jump in the air in slow motion, you get this really triumphant horn sound, and it just says, "The End." Then it starts playing Chick Habit, which is a really appropriate song. Again, like I said, over and over, hard to review. I think it's pretty good, but if you went and saw it in theaters, prepare to be a little disappointed because it drags on with stuff you don't care about. All this stuff is in the original script if you read it, so if you ever got your hands on a copy of the script, you'll be watching that, every extra scene, all of that. It's more like the international versions than the, just, you know, one in America. I don't know. I'm not good at giving number ratings on it. I'm usually just good or bad. I'd give it about maybe an 8. It's hard. I'm waiting for the release of Grindhouse, which they've said they will try to do by the end of this year or beginning of next, having Planet Terror and Death Proof in one film, theatrical version, all the fake trailers in between, all the cheesy ads in one film. That's what I'm waiting for. But until then, this is all I have, all any of us have, unless we know how to use the internet and can find a bootleg version of it. But again, I can't suggest that. But hope you guys enjoyed this review. Keep a lookout for more and all. I don't know. I'd suggest rent it. See if you like it. I'd enjoy it. I bought it. I'm not really regretting it. I'll still watch it a couple times. Alright guys, later.